Right.
And then let's talk a little bit about legacy in terms of, what happens when you as the borrower passes away? What happens at that point?
Right.
With the house
Okay.
and the loan?
So this is where they've made a lot of strides over the last 10 to 15 years. And, unfortunately, there was a lot of misreporting early on with reverse mortgages. But at a high level, let's say, for example, I have a reverse mortgage on my home. And I do pass. I'm 82 years of age, right? Hopefully I live to 95, right? But if I pass at 82 years of age and I want my kids have got options. The options are this. They can buy the property, and FHA has done a great job of saying, okay, if the kids want to buy the property, they pay 95% of the appraised value, not what's owed on the reverse mortgage, but of the appraised value. There's a big difference there, right? You can actually, let's say, for example, I was to pass in a really bad year, or let's say it was bad in real estate for the last 3 to 5 years. If the value of the property went from 500,000 when I got the reverse mortgage and it dropped to 350, but yet I owed 400,000 on the reverse because I used the line of credit with the negative amortization. Well, I would pay 95% of the 350,000 to buy mom and dad's house if I wanted to buy it. Okay. So that's a protection. That is a protection.
That's interesting. Now, do they also have the option to sell it at that point too? What are some of the other?
They do. Yeah. So there's 3 options. So now if they want to sell that property because there's equity still remaining, right? They've got 6 months to go through that process. So they could come to you as a real estate agent, say, Sarah, we want to go ahead and list mom and dad's property, right? They passed. You would get it listed. They would then do the documentation with FHA demonstrating that they're taking the necessary action to get the property sold. Now, if it doesn't sell within that first 6 months, then they have 2 90-day extension periods that they can ask for, basically giving them a year to get that done. So that's option number 2. Option number 3 would be, or actually, there's 4. Option number 3 would be is if they wanted to refinance. Let's say I put the kids on title after I got the reverse mortgage. Okay, so I added them to title.
You can, and that's okay to do.
Yeah, you can add them to title afterwards, right? Okay. And then if they said, well, we want to go ahead and since we're on title, we've got equity, we've got ownership, we want to refinance and get the house that way. Then you have to refinance for exactly what is owed on the reverse mortgage. So in the example I just gave, if it was 400,000 that was owed, they'd have to refinance and qualify in a traditional mortgage for 400,000.
Okay.
Okay.
So they would qualify. So let's say the kid would qualify based on their credit income, just like in the traditional sense.
Correct.
On a regular loan.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Right. Now the other option that the kids have is sometimes kids, and I've dealt with this, don't want to deal with the house at all. There's not enough equity in it, right? Because the parents maybe had the reverse mortgage for 10 or 15 years. So they've really, they've tacked on a lot of negative amortization, and we probably a good thing for us to talk about how that works. And the kids just say, I don't have any time for it. I don't want to deal with it. So they could do a deed in lieu of and just say, I don't want it, deed in lieu of, the bank takes it, the bank sells it for what they can get for it.
Okay, but that's not considered a foreclosure.
No, because you already passed. Remember this example, they passed.
But it would be, but as far as the kids, as far as how it would reflect on their side.
Right. Yeah,
okay.
no.
Okay.
No effect on them whatsoever. Yeah.